the Warrnambool community we are bursting at the seams. Outgrown the facility here.
The RSPCA is at breaking point.
The Warrnambool community has well and truly outgrown the facility here. At ground level, we need a new facility. We are desperate for a new facility. We need to be pushing.
But the animals keep coming.
Cats is just the basic, and it's the same thing every single year. People just not desexing. The cat numbers each year just astound me.
Tonight on The Full Story.
At the moment, middle of kitten season, there are literally animals everywhere. Unprecedented numbers. I've been here 16 years and I've never seen animals numbers like this before, and for such a duration.
We go inside the Warrnambool RSPCA.
And how did Coco come to the...
Was surrendered. Someone in a position where they had to move, didn't have housing.
How do you and the volunteers here stay strong?
At the moment it's hard. At the moment it's really, really hard. There's a lot of compassion fatigue.
Plus,
he's just amazing. He's grown so much in that 12 months. But we still can't find him a home.
The big, goofy puppy living inside the shelter for over 12 months.
Everybody loves him. They question themselves why he hasn't been adopted yet. I think unfortunately, he's just unlucky.
His carer adores him.
I don't want to adopt him and then not give him enough time, not the time that he deserves.
The shelter staff love him.
He's just a big goof. Like, he's still always going to be a big goof. He's a now well-behaved, beautiful, big goof.
But no one wants to give Jimmy a home.
It's the first one I've seen in my time, and I think it's a bit of it shows the climate that we're in at the moment.
Hello and welcome to The Full Story, a brand new public affairs program covering local stories important to the Southwest. Now, if you're thinking Fitzmedia has produced this program before, you would be right. We produced 2 series of The Full Story in the early days, but it was geared as more of an interview program. In this new incarnation, we will bring you feature stories on a range of topics, some really hard-hitting ones, others more light-hearted. But one thing they will all have in common is they all have the Southwest community in mind. Tonight we tell you the story of Jimmy, a 2-year-old dog who last Thursday notched up his 12-month anniversary at Warrnambool's RSPCA. Now, you may not think this is much of a story, but beneath it is a much bigger issue, and that is Warrnambool's RSPCA shelter is beyond capacity, and it is quite literally bursting at the seams. Never before has an animal been in the care of Warrnambool's RSPCA as long as 12 months, and what it comes down to is adoption numbers are declining. Jimmy is one of many animals who continually get overlooked by prospective pet owners due to a stigma that adopting from the RSPCA means you will inherit a badly behaved animal. As you're about to find out, that could not be further from the truth, which is where foster carers come in. Jimmy has been fostered for 3 months by Giorgio Palmieri, and the need for foster carers also forms part of this story. Since Jimmy and Giorgio have been spending time together, Jimmy's demeanour has come leaps and bounds, and Giorgio, along with anyone who meets Jimmy, can't seem to work out why he is yet to find a forever home. As you'll find out, there are plenty of angles to this first episode, but at the centre of everything is a big, goofy dog by the name of Jimmy. Warrnambool's RSPCA is quite literally bursting at its seams. Never before has it had an animal in its care for longer than 12 months, but last Thursday, one animal sadly has the title of becoming the first to have a 12-month anniversary at the shelter.
Jimmy originally came into one of our other regional facilities. He came in on the 6th of April last year, which is so heartbreaking. He was adopted out for a very short time, but he was a very big, naughty puppy. So he was returned very quickly. And then he was adopted out again and again returned very, very quickly for being a very big, boisterous puppy.
At the time of filming this story, Warrnambool's RSPCA had over 170 animals in its care. And on the morning of this story being filmed, there were 2 transfers to the RSPCA's Burwood facility because they needed the space to keep up with the constant demand of providing shelters for surrendered and impounded animals. Tell us about the facility here and how many animals that we've got here at this point in time.
We are bursting at the seams. Unfortunately, the Warrnambool community has well and truly outgrown the facility here. We've outgrown the space, we've outgrown the block, we've outgrown everything. We're doing 3 transfers this week, so of Warrnambool local animals being transferred into metro areas because we have way more animals than what we can fit in our community and rehome into our community. There are just too many.
The Warrnambool shelter provides a roof for surrendered animals from all over the southwest, encompassing the Warrnambool and Glenelg Shires. Sadly, the numbers keep increasing, but adoption numbers are on a steady decline. Now, what are some barriers people come across?
I think that housing is a big barrier, and the misconception that there's something wrong with our animals. I think there's a very big misconception that if it's in the shelter or in the pound that it must have something wrong with it. And really it's mostly a case of just circumstance. There's quite often a lot of absolutely beautiful animals that have come in due to someone needing to relocate, someone, you know, just not being able to give the animal the care that they know it needs, and making that hard decision, but ultimately the right decision for the animal. There's some absolutely beautiful animals out there, as well as cats. Cats is just the basic, and it's the same thing every single year. People just not desexing. The cat numbers each year just astound me.
Like Jimmy, many of the animals at the shelter are the victim of circumstance. The perception is, because they have been surrendered, there is a reason, and unfortunately for them, that is enough to deter prospective pet owners from visiting the shelter, which is a large contributor as to why the numbers continue to put pressure on staff and volunteers. The stigma surrounding animals, do you think that is something that we need to really dispel a little bit? Because that to me, that there would be a lot of people that, like you say, that if they think they come to the RSPCA, that they're not going to get a dog or a cat that works properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, every animal needs training,
Yeah.
without a doubt, and they need training through their whole life. You need to train them, and then you need to continue with the training for a dog. So, of course, you're going to get a dog, and you are going to need to train it. If you change its name, you're going to have to teach it what its new name is, like basic stuff like that. But they are beautiful dogs, and quite often they come in knowing so much already. And sometimes all they just need is someone to love them. Some of them really just want a space on the end of the bed. Some of them just want to be walked every day. Like, they're just beautiful. It's heartbreaking sometimes when you go out there and just see the beautiful nature of some of them and see them stuck in a cage.
How often on weekends do you get people coming through looking at dogs and animals? Do people come through very much, or?
Yeah, not as much as we'd like.
What stops people coming through, do you think?
We get a lot of, I could never walk in there because it's too heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, it is, but, you know, help the problem.
Yeah, help the problem and you never
come
know.
and adopt. You know, if you don't want to walk out the back with the animals, that's fine, we'll bring them to you.
Warrnambool's RSPCA facility was built in the 1980s, but as the population has grown and continues to grow, the shelter here has remained the same size, having to rely on makeshift expansions to keep up with demand. It is a Warrnambool City Council run facility, and Warrnambool City Council is aware of the pressures it faces, and there are plans to build a new facility here on this existing site. Sounds great in theory, doesn't it? Except for one key problem. The land here on Braithwaite Street is far too small for a brand new purpose-built facility. And if a new facility is developed here, there will be no room for outdoor spaces for all the animals in its care.
Perfect world would have, you know, multiple exercise yards like
Yeah.
other facilities do, but we make do with what we've got at the moment.
Would I be right in saying this site would be too small to try and get to somewhere where you need to have more space?
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
essentially. You know, we need more space for cats, we need more space for dogs.
Yeah.
The only way to really do that would be to lose the backyard,
Yeah.
which obviously isn't the best welfare of the animals.
No, yeah.
So we still need space, and we need lots of space for them to run around.
Compared to other facilities on average, how small is this compared to other RSPCAs around Australia?
So around Australia, I'm not sure.
Well, let's talk Victoria
But
then.
Victoria, so you're looking at our metro sites, and we are a very small drop in the park. But, you know, this facility was built from memory, and I could be wrong, but in the 1980s. It's been patched on, you know, since then. Nothing's in my time though. It's a council-owned facility, so we're hands tied until the council are in a position to rebuild, which we're desperate for.
Is there regular consultation with council? Are
Yeah.
they aware of it?
No, council are well and truly aware, but it's the same for them. It's funding. For them to build a proper facility, they need funding from the government. It's a multi-million-dollar project to rebuild a facility that we really need. At ground level, we need a new facility. We are desperate for a new facility.
The impact of COVID is also now playing an indirect role in the unprecedented numbers of animals arriving at the shelter. It was encouraged during lockdown periods for people to consider adopting, but now it seems to be backfiring in some instances as the world begins to open up. The lockdown periods, everyone wanted a pet.
They did.
What does that mean now?
During COVID, while they were home, it's a great time to get an animal home and settle it in. So it was a great time for people to get animals. But what we're seeing now is an influx of animals in the shelter, not necessarily due to COVID, but people are able to get out and about and stuff now and find that the animal that they had is maybe not quite as socialised as what it would have been during open times and stuff like that. So they're presenting a problem for people now, so they're coming in. We're seeing a lot of people being able to travel now, so they're bringing their animals in so that they can travel. It's easier than boarding and it's cheaper than boarding, unfortunately. But at the moment, middle of kitten season, there are literally animals everywhere. Unprecedented numbers in here at the moment.
It's animals like these that are surrendered because their owners' circumstances have changed, and they are often tarred with the same brush as what a problem animal would be. And according to Tracy, both her and her team really find their stories hard to bear, resulting in extremely huge bouts of compassion fatigue and often extreme sadness.
Bindi is around a year old.
Yep.
She's a lovely little soul, but then next door we've got our little Coco who's 14.
14, okay.
Yeah. Coco's a little bit unwell, looking for a home that obviously is able to continue with the medical care that
Okay.
Coco needs for his last few years or a few months.
And how did Coco come to the...
Was surrendered.
Surrendered,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Someone in a position where they had to move, didn't have housing, and couldn't afford the ongoing care as well.
So spent all that time with the family and unfortunately under no circumstance had to...
Yeah, ended up with us. But a beautiful little soul.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you and the volunteers here stay strong?
At the moment it's hard.
Yeah.
At the moment it's really, really hard. There's a lot of compassion fatigue. There's just so many numbers coming through, and at this time of the year, if you're not feeling a little fatigued from the animal numbers, then you're a superhero. The hardest thing for me is seeing the families surrender their animal and they're heartbroken when they have to surrender them, and this animal has maybe slept at the end of the bed with them and been in their life since it was a puppy, and due to no fault of the family and no fault of the dog, the animal's come to us, and then we're popping it in a cage. I just so desperately want to take it home each night and put it at the end of my bed and let it sleep there until it finds its forever home, but unfortunately we can't do that. So we just do the best we can and make them feel as loved as they can while they're here, but it's not a forever home here, it's just a part-time home until they get their next home.
After the break,
There's really no need to breed a cat. There are so many.
the number of cats and kittens at the RSPCA at unprecedented numbers.
There are a lot more cats than homes. It's the same thing every single year. People just not desexing. The cat numbers each year just astound me.
Then later, finding Jimmy a forever home.
I was quite worried about what I was told by the people at the RSPCA. I realised from the first day he wasn't bad at all.
The lovable dog, 12 months inside the walls of Warrnambool's RSPCA.
He's just amazing. He's grown so much in that 12 months. But we still can't find him a home.
When the full story returns.
People know Warrnambool by the Breakwater, the Fletcher Jones Ball, Lake Batove and Kerman's Hamburgers. Geelong is the home of the Cats, the Foreshore, the Big Wheel, and Kerman's is there too. Port Fairy is known for Folky, the Wharf, now Kerman's is there too. So Kerman's Hamburgers can now be associated with three of Victoria's most famous towns. Kerman's Hamburgers now open on 24 Bank Street, Port Fairy.
Welcome to All Seasons Nursery. We stock a wide range of quality plants, decorative pots and garden accessories to suit your garden. Our staff give great advice and have local knowledge to help your garden look its best. Come in for a look. Our prices will slap you in the face.
Isuzu Ute has been awarded CanStar Blue's most satisfied new car customers of 2021, earning 5 stars for overall satisfaction, point of sale service, after sale service, value for money, driving experience, reliability and car servicing, becoming the first automotive brand to receive perfect scores in all categories. Isuzu Ute is proud to keep Australians going their own way.
If you've been injured, make the call. Find out if you have a claim. Madden's Lawyers is the region's most experienced injury compensation firm. Madden's Lawyers. Make the call.
The Warrnambool RSPCA is at its absolute limits, and staff and volunteers that work there are seeing some of the largest animal numbers ever recorded in the facility's history. Animals cost money,
They
to
do.
have one or two,
Yeah,
You've got
they
a
do.
whole facility full of...
Like at the moment, 170.
Yeah.
Like, as I said, I've been here 16 years and I've never seen animals numbers like this before, and for such a duration. We might peak at a number for a few days, but at the moment we're sitting at really high numbers.
It hasn't been until this year that an animal has been in the care of the RSPCA for over 12 months. And it's dogs like Jimmy who are at times a victim of circumstances out of the control of their owners. Some things can be controlled, and one of those things is the desexing of cats, something that Tracy and the RSPCA staff and volunteers wish people would be more proactive about. Is it cost? What stops them?
I don't think it should be cost. If it's cost, well, they probably shouldn't get one in the first place. But there's 4 clinics in town now, and they are fantastic clinics. Some of them will do payment plans, some of them will do like vet pay. You can come in here, we do discount vouchers for cat desexing, so there's really no need to breed a cat. There is so many. This is what we call quarantine 1.
Yep.
So when an animal first comes into the shelter, a cat, this is the first place that they come into. And they stay in here until they've been seen by a vet and they get assessed as being healthy and well and okay to proceed through the system.
Sadly, it's not a new thing. The RSPCA has been doing whatever it can to help find these innocent animals their forever home. They do this by adoption initiatives at places like Petstock and also provide reduced adoption fees at certain times. And for senior animals, there are no fees, in the hope animals in their twilight years still get the chance to be loved. And I think senior cats as well get a bit forgotten at times.
Senior cats, yeah, so we actually have no adoption fee on our senior cats.
Yeah.
So we realise that you've got them for a shorter amount of time, I guess, but
Yeah.
also that they come with additional costs, additional vet costs.
On top of surrendered animals, the RSPCA accommodates pound animals. That's animals that have been found in the community unattended. As far as cats are concerned, the RSPCA's reclamation statistics are quite concerning. Before microchipping, reclamation numbers were 1 or 2 a year. In more recent times, they are 1 or 2 a month, which, according to Tracy, is extremely low. Do you get many people coming through the doors to find out if their animals come in?
Really terrible still, but it's a big improvement.
Yeah.
With dogs, a lot more dogs thankfully are microchipped, so our reclaim numbers on microchip on dogs are a lot higher, but we still have a large number that, we'll ring and let them know their animal's here and we don't see them.
Yeah, right. They just surrender them and go.
Well, we just don't hear from them again.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
You just feel terrible for them, particularly when it's like this one is. It's a
Not a young
really
cat.
cool cat.
Yeah. And again, you mentioned that stigma, that victim of circumstance. It's not the kitten's fault. They're great animals. They're behaved.
They're amazing. They're litter trained, they're desexed, they're vaccinated, they're wormed, they're fleed, they're microchipped if they're local, they're registered for a very, very discounted cost. You can come and get one that's already desexed and you don't need to worry about it. So Warrnambool Vet Clinic come in a couple of times a week and they see all the animals. They do their health assessments, their vaccinations, microchipping, all that sort of stuff, and make sure they're healthy and ready to go into adoptions.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Great facility, and you guys have a great job here. They're getting to meet so many different animals and
it's so much fun.
Yeah, and you've got a young fella here, little girl,
Little
boy.
girl, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little bit scared, so we might not hassle her too much.
No. Despite the RSPCA's best efforts, the desexing message for cats and kittens isn't sinking into prospective and existing pet owners. In fact, it's the single most reason as to why animal shelters right across the country are overrun with cats. As to why people aren't adopting cats and kittens from animal shelters, that's sadly a mystery no one seems to have an answer for. All cats adopted from here in Warrnambool and at other facilities across the country are desexed, microchipped and vaccinated, saving those who take them into their homes hundreds of dollars. One thing the RSPCA can't do for them is offer them a family, but hopefully that's where you come in. People, do they make an appointment? What's the go? How can
with cats, they can certainly give us a call and make an appointment if they like, or they can just pop on down.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just pop on down. If you're in your lunch break and you feel like you might like to come down, you've only got an hour, come down.
When someone's coming to decide on whether they want to adopt an animal, I'm assuming there's no time limit. They can hang here as long as they like.
They can. We do sort of run to an appointment system a little bit, as far as we ensure that there's not too many people out here all at once. Just still trying to maintain some sort of new COVID normal. But you can spend hours out here. We don't mind.
Something that has changed is the regulations around when an animal is euthanased. Back in 2010, it was ruled that an animal would only be euthanased if it was sadly unable to be rehabilitated, or at worst, due to its condition upon coming into the care of the RSPCA. Luckily, capacity is no longer an acceptable reason for an animal to be put to sleep.
This facility was built, from memory, and I could be wrong, but in the 1980s. It's been patched on, since then. Nothing's in my time though. We had that old antiquated 28-day rule that, went out in 2010 where things got euthanased, and thank God that rule's not in existence anymore. So we don't ever euthanise for capacity. My personal opinion is that, from the change of legislation, it took sort of 8 or 9 years to get down to lower dog numbers, to get some control over the desexing and all that sort of stuff. And post shutdowns and stuff like that, I think it's going to take us 8 or 9 years again to get back to a controllable point.
It's a long time, isn't it? The
It
pandemic's just done so much. The 28-day rule is one of many misconceptions that surround the RSPCA, but while it is comforting to know that animals are rarely euthanased, the animals continue to come through the doors. That fact alone is enough to have a huge impact on Tracy and her team.
The guys here are superheroes. The volunteers are amazing. The staff are amazing. And everyone just leans on each other. We get stories back from the animals that have gone out, and we get photos and we get stories, and that really lifts our spirits as well when we see them go out. Like, everyone says it's a hard job and they don't know how we do it, but we do it because we see the other side of when they go out, and it's just so amazing.
The workload the team here at the Warrnambool RSPCA face is enormous, and rarely is there any respite. And while fundraising and money is imperative to help the facility operate, other donations are also accepted.
This was an amazing donation from the Port Fairy community, this one. So, everything, that we can get as donations. Do we get a lot of donations like this? If they know, like someone just popped it out on Facebook that we were in desperate need of a dryer, and I think it was one of our volunteers, and the Port Fairy community just within 2 days had raised funds to purchase a dryer, which, those sort of things, when we are feeling compassion fatigued and run down, feeling the community support with something like that, it just makes it all worth. But as the old saying goes, there are some things that money can't buy. And in this case, it is volunteers and foster carers like Giorgio Palmieri. Giorgio's heart is in it. So big. So big. It's just amazing. We've got no dog fosterers apart from Giorgio. Like none. We've got one of our staff members who does a little bit of respite, so she's had a puppy for the last week. But there are no dog fosterers at all. Becoming a foster carer at the RSPCA is one thing, but being a regular foster carer is another. Right now, Warrnambool has around 20 foster carers on the books, but only a handful are regulars. How many do we have, do you reckon, locally? We've got good numbers of foster carers on the books, but the numbers that are the regular ones are probably 5 or 6 at most. Yeah. Ideally? Ideally, we'd want to see probably 20 regulars.
Is it hard being a foster carer? Like, do you have to, when you bring them back?
I must admit, I've got a lot of fosters at home that didn't make it back.
Okay.
I must admit, much to my husband's dismay. Like, we always let them know how their animals are going, and I think they really enjoy knowing that they've gone into their forever home and they've helped. And then ones like Giorgio, I think seeing the change in the animal, even in the shelter, like, he knows he's improving that dog's time so much.
Being a foster carer also has a huge impact on the adoptability of the animals. If an animal spends more time with a person outside of the shelter, staff notice a huge difference in the temperament of the animal, and a perfect example of that is our mate Jimmy.
It's amazing to see the difference in Jimmy by going out to foster. Like, it's respite foster, so whenever Giorgio's got time, he's got a few days, got a few hours, he comes in, takes Jimmy out, and oh my God, he's just a different dog. He's just amazing. He's grown so much in that 12 months. But we still can't find him a home.
After the break,
No longer a puppy, he's 12 months older. Yeah. Giorgio's just done amazing work with him, just getting him out of the shelter and giving him that respite.
the first dog to be in the care of the Warrnambool RSPCA for 12 months.
But I see when I go to the park and I play with other people, other dogs, everybody loves him. They question themselves why he hasn't been adopted yet.
We meet the man with a heart of gold and his mate, who is desperate to find a home.
He knows when he sees me that there is this bond, and he really looks forward to come with me and spend a few days with me.
Then later, how you can help the RSPCA continue its vital work.
Unfortunately, this year we aren't running a Million Paws Walk locally because we just don't have, I don't have time. The staff here don't have time because of our animal numbers.
When the full story returns.
Delicious meals, kids' playroom, function room, big screen TV, sports, live music, courtesy bus. Rafferty's Tavern has something for the whole family. Become a Hump member for special discounts at the Thirsty Camel drive-through bottle shop. Whatever the occasion, make it memorable at Rafferty's Tavern.
RM Security Services wants you to be part of their team. Earn a salary while working in a close-knit team environment. You'll receive training, support and flexible working hours. For a secure job with award wages, join the Southwest's longest-serving security team. Contact us today.
Enter a world of times past at Warrnambool's Flagstaff Hill. Immerse yourself and experience life in a seaside village set in the 1870s. Flagstaff Hill is a living history museum which is nationally acclaimed. As you walk the cobblestones and explore displays, you will witness the richest collection of shipwreck artefacts in Australia, from everyday items to the famous Lockhart peacock, valued at over $4 million. Experience Warrnambool's rich maritime history at Flagstaff Hill.
The Flying Horse is more than just a pub. It's the perfect spot to kick back with friends or family. Indulge in a delicious meal from the new menu and wood-fired kitchen. Celebrate in one of their multiple function rooms. Catch up with mates in the sports bar or TAB. Grab a slab from the Thirsty Camel bottle shop. There's even a courtesy bus. Plus, don't miss Locals Night every Thursday night with food and drink specials, live music and more. For the perfect venue, it's got to be the Flying Horse, of course.
The 170 plus animals inside the crowded walls of Warrnambool's RSPCA are sadly sometimes seen as a less than ideal option for when people are considering adding a pet to their families. At least 80% of the animals in the shelter come from loving families who have had to surrender their pet for one of many reasons. One of those reasons is the housing crisis.
But we've got some amazing dogs that have been here 150, 160, 200 days. It just blows my mind because, you know, they're amazing dogs.
And you mentioned compassion fatigue and how sad you get when you see that these dogs that are here, that they're just lovely and they're still here.
And they're still here, and they don't, like, you get them out of the pen and you take them for a walk and they just love it, and you just see they don't want to go back into their pen.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbreaking, but you know you need to get it back in to get the next one out.
While adoption numbers are slowing, it's the odd few that keep Tracy and her team motivated to keep doing the work they are doing. And that makes the hard times a little bit easier to bear. And we're witnessing an adoption happening.
We are, yeah, which is amazing.
And Rhino is the name of this dog. How long was Rhino here for?
Rhino, so Rhino was transferred to us, so we do a lot of transfers, and sometimes they come back our way as well. So this was transferred to us from one of the metro sites.
Okay.
It was part of a litter, so it has been within shelters for probably up to 4 or 5 months now. We're about 4 or 5 months old.
Yeah.
So Rhino's the last one of this litter that we've got. Rhino will grow to be quite a large dog.
Yeah.
He's loving the treats there.
And it's so good to see that, like, you know, again, we're talking about adoption numbers and how it's so great to see, but this is what these moments that you love.
It is. So these guys have travelled from Metro as well to come down and look at Rhino, which is great.
Nice. Oh, that's brilliant. Then there are dogs like Jimmy, the big, lovable, even clumsy 2-year-old who, despite his best efforts to impress prospective families, seems to come up short and, even more tragically, finally gets adopted, only to be returned again after a short amount of time.
We've all seen the pictures of him down at the beach, just sitting and relaxing and being able to breathe. He doesn't have the noise of all the other dogs around him, and like he sees Giorgio come and he's like, yep, let's go, and Giorgio opens the back of the ute and he jumps straight in and he's just like, let's go, we know how this works, and it's just amazing.
We first covered Jimmy's story on the 4th of January. RSPCA Victoria put a long-term Wednesday post out about some of the animals in their care. One of those was Jimmy, who at that time had been in the care of the RSPCA for 273 days. Luckily for Jimmy, a new friend wasn't far away.
Oh, Jimmy. Well, I met Jimmy, or I saw Jimmy the first time actually during one of your reports, and what struck straight away was the amount of time that he's been in a shelter. Crossed my mind to adopt him first, but then I realized that my circumstances, family circumstances, were not ideal. So the best next choice was to try to foster him. And so I approached Tracy at the RSPCA, and yeah, we went from there.
Giorgio is the only regular foster carer for dogs at Warrnambool's RSPCA. And if he could, he would adopt Jimmy, but unfortunately, his circumstances at the moment mean he isn't in a position to do so, which is why being Jimmy's foster carer is a perfect situation. How often do you go and catch up with Jimmy? And what does your circumstances allow at the moment as a foster carer?
At this stage, I try to get him as much as I can, which is about 4 to 5 days every 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I have to go to Melbourne very often, and I can't take him with me. So when I'm in Warrnambool and work allows me to work from home or have a few days off, I take him with me, and I usually spend 4 or 5 days with him over the weekend, and yeah, I just love it.
When Giorgio saw our post about Jimmy, initially he considered adopting him, but like any person considering adopting an animal should do, he knew it wasn't the right time, and it wouldn't be fair on Jimmy if he did take him in full time. Do you think your circumstances would ever change? Like, is that something you'd love to be able to say that, hey, my circumstances have changed?
I don't want to adopt him and then not give him enough time, not the time that he deserves. And at the same time, I don't want to take my sick father the time that he deserves. So at the moment, it's a good compromise. I can spend time with both. We'll see what happens in the future.
He was also faced with some trepidation too. That stigma of wondering what could possibly be wrong with this dog to still be in a shelter after so long. But that is where Giorgio was different. He knew how to see past it, and that is something he is extremely pleased he was able to do.
I was quite worried about what I was told by the people at the RSPCA, because for a dog, after being cared for a year in a shelter, the behavior changes. No matter what dog it is, the behavior changes and can be not ideal. But I realized from the first day after I took him, he wasn't bad at all.
We were talking about Tracy earlier about a stigma involved with dogs at the pound or dogs at the RSPCA. Do you think there is a stigma around
Absolutely, yeah. People that don't know much about dogs at the RSPCA or any shelter are very opposed to adopting from a shelter. I've been adopting dogs from a shelter for the last probably 20 years, and they are the best dogs. They will give you as much love as a dog that you buy from a breeder for $5,000 to $10,000.
So what are some things you've done to try and help him learn to be on the lead and different things?
Lots of walks.
Yep.
Also, he was quite interested in food.
Yep.
So I tried to limit as much as possible, give him treats for no reason.
Yep.
Which helped a lot.
Yep.
And also ask him to wait for his food before every meal,
Yep.
which now he does.
Yep.
So all things that possibly are going to be useful once he gets adopted.
Yeah. In fact, despite Jimmy's size and his past setbacks, Giorgio was pleasantly surprised with how placid this misunderstood animal was, and he wasn't the only one. What do you think is the barrier? Like, this dog seems like he's beautiful.
Possibly because he's a big dog, possibly because he's been in care for this long. People may think why he has been in care for this long and nobody what's his background. And possibly that's a few things that put people off. But I see when I go to the park and I play with other people, other dogs, everybody loves him. They question themselves why he hasn't been adopted yet. Yeah, I think unfortunately, he's just unlucky.
There are many benefits to becoming a foster carer like Giorgio for both the carer and the animal. From the carer's perspective, the RSPCA gives them everything they possibly need. Everything from food, toys, bedding, even medications if they are indeed receiving treatment. For the animal, it's time out of the shelter and spending time one-on-one with a human. There are also different types of foster carers you can become. In Giorgio's case, he is what they call a respite carer, which means he comes and gets Jimmy whenever he can, but it's not essential, it's every week.
And I know that dog fostering is a lot more difficult for people, but we are desperate, even if it's just respite. If it's come in and take it for a weekend while you're home and bring it back Monday to Friday while you're at work, that's a massive help. But we desperate for dog fosterers.
And I think that's another key point. There's no limit to how long you can look after the animal for.
No, there's not. And Giorgio's a perfect example. Like he isn't in a position where he can have Jimmy at home all the time, but he is in a position that when he's not at work, that he can have Jimmy with him.
Yeah.
So, perfect example.
Would you say it's rewarding? Like, what do you get out of being a foster carer?
Look, I would say probably nothing for myself. What I do is just for him. When I realized that he's been in care for almost 1 year and not having any interest from the public, that broke my heart. So for me, my main concern at the moment is just try to give him as much time as I can.
It is clear to see that Giorgio and Jimmy have a great bond, and Jimmy certainly sees Giorgio as someone he can count on. Many foster relationships are the same, and as Giorgio admits, taking Jimmy back to the shelter is hard after spending a few days with him. One of the questions that strikes me is how hard it is to take him back. You've got this bond with this dog, unfortunately unable to adopt because of your circumstances. When you take him back, how does that feel?
It's not easy, but it's also I also understand that I will see him again in a week's time. It's hard for me to see him in the cage before I leave. I can see his face and how sad he is. But yeah, I'll try to get him back as soon as I can, and that's what I look forward to.
In some cases, foster carers do tend to adopt the animal they take into care, but this is not expected, and people offering to help the RSPCA by being a foster carer should not feel obligated to do so. Fostering an animal should be seen as a way to help train an animal and get it used to being with people, in turn helping its adoptability for prospective families.
He was just a dog in need of a bit of free air, a bit of sand here. Just be a dog, and of course you can be a dog inside a cage. His behavior and his attitude has changed a lot, has improved incredibly. I noticed that myself, but also for the people from the RSPCA see a massive change in the way he behaves.
He's just a big goof. Like he's still always going to be a big goof, but he's a now well-behaved, beautiful big goof.
It's so great, and we get to a 12-month anniversary, which we don't like to see. It must be a real surprise when you see a dog get.
It's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the first one I've seen in my time, and I think it's a bit of it shows the climate that we're in at the moment.
Yeah. While foster care arrangements are temporary, there are those who take animals into care who get a lot out of the experience also, with many feeling a sense of accomplishment that they help the animal on its journey to finding its forever home.
You don't need to be a foster care just for dogs. You can be for cats, which are of course much less demanding. It's pretty satisfying. You pretty much have the advantages of owning a dog in a way. Fostering is great, but again, it's not like trying a new car before you buy, because you have to think about is a living being. You don't want to just have it a go and see how it goes. You really need to think about it seriously, and not just to see. It's a commitment.
As for Jimmy, he is one of many animals keen to find his forever home, and while Giorgio will be sad to know his mate won't be able to spend time with him anymore, he will feel happy to know that such a wonderful animal finally has found his happily ever after. If you found out tomorrow that he got adopted and you weren't able to hang out with him, how would you feel?
Well, first of all, I'd like to see who adopted him.
Yeah.
And then if I can get in touch with this person and sometimes have the chance to catch up and play with him as well.
Okay.
I would have liked to be in a position today during this interview to say that I was going to adopt him, but I'm not there yet. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
After the break, what are some things that we need from the Warrnambool RSPCA to help it operate?
Yeah, so during COVID, we've seen a very big dip in volunteers, and it hasn't picked up again. So what we, and also in foster carers, what we most desperately need is people to come and help.
Many hands make light work, and the RSPCA needs many hands in many ways.
If you can't contribute hours to the shelter, then foster carers to come and take these animals home and give them either respite from the shelter, bring them back, take them back out again when it suits. Also, the need for more fundraisers to help the RSPCA continue its vital work in our community. You know, if we can get someone to come forward and coordinate a Million Paws Walk, you know, 1 year each year, you know, it would be amazing. Volunteers to come and help run it. I really miss having a local Million Paws Walk. It's something that I love doing each year, but animal numbers and time, unfortunately I can't.
When the full story returns.
The Warrnambool RSL President and Committee have decided to open up their venue for weddings and would like to invite you to their Wedding Expo on Saturday, April 22nd.
Do you, Jack, take in amazing sea views at the Warrnambool RSL?
I do.
Do you, Amy, accept the free courtesy bus to pick up guests?
I do.
Find out how to make your wedding day one to remember. The Warrnambool RSL Wedding Expo, 10 till 2, Saturday, April 22nd.
Welcome to All Seasons Nursery. We stock a wide range of quality plants, decorative pots and garden accessories to suit your garden. Our staff give great advice and have local knowledge to help your garden look its best. Come in for a look. Our prices will slap you in the face.
Isuzu Ute has been awarded CanStar Blue's most satisfied new car customers of 2021, earning 5 stars for overall satisfaction, point of sale service, after sale service, value for money, driving experience, reliability and car servicing, becoming the first automotive brand to receive perfect scores in all categories. Isuzu Ute is proud to keep Australians going their own way.
Delicious meals, kids' playroom, function room, big screen TV, sports, live music, courtesy bus. Rafford East Haven has something for the whole family. Become a Hump member for special discounts at the Thirsty Camel drive-through bottle shop. Whatever the occasion, make it memorable at Rafford East Haven.
Warrnambool's RSPCA needs help. Help with volunteers, help with foster carers, and help with money. It is also desperate for a new home as it's continually stretched to its limits.
Here, the RSPCA, we are the pound for Warrnambool City Council, and we also do the rehoming for Glenelg as well as Corangamite. So we have a lot of animals coming in our doors. Seeing a lot of surrenders for different reasons at the moment. I'm seeing an increase in the number of animals that are coming in from breeders that haven't been able to rehome their animals. We're hands tied until the council are in a position to rebuild, which we're desperate for. We need to be pushing. So they need government funding. Like it's, you know, it shouldn't just come down to the people that live in our community as well. We need a government grant or sponsorship. I don't know how that works. At ground level, we need a new facility.
Because the staff are stretched too due to the numbers, the opportunity for Tracy and her team to host fundraisers simply doesn't exist.
Raising any funding that comes through obviously goes directly towards helping those animals. We have some major fundraisers throughout the year, the Million Paws Walk, which is coming up in May, Cupcake Day, which is coming up soon, and school groups that do, you know, some fundraising. We've just had Brower College go through and do a massive fundraiser for it, which is amazing. We love that. Yeah, unfortunately this year we aren't running a Million Paws Walk locally because we just don't have I don't have time. The staff here don't have time because of our animal numbers. So, you know, if we can get someone to come forward and coordinate a Million Paws Walk, you know, one year, each year. I really miss having a local Million Paws Walk. It's something that I love doing each year, but animal numbers and time, I just, unfortunately, I can't.
If man hours is something you can't provide to help the RSPCA, then donations like blankets, toys, equipment to help with transportation, even food are some items in regular demand.
We have some really amazing corporate sponsors for our food and for some of our litter and stuff like that. We still rely on donated food for all our pound animals. Other things that people can do donation-wise is litter, toys, always toys.
Warrnambool's RSPCA also has a huge range of pet accessories for sale, with all the proceeds raised from them going straight back into the care of the animals.
We always, you know, say that you can go down a pet stock or Pets Domain and purchase your product, and you're supporting that person sitting on his yacht making $1 million. Or you can come in here and all the funds that are raised from these go straight back to the RSPCA animals.
So what are some things you can buy here?
Like, you know, obviously we've got a very small space here, but we do try and have everything that we need. We've got our collars, we've got our leads, we've got our litter trays, we've got enrichment items, we've got toys, we've got our food, we've got litter. You know, we try and utilise our very small space as much as possible.
Tracy has never seen animal numbers as high as they are, and she feels there is a long way to go before we start to see them get back to a more manageable level.
We actually have a home for that one.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to be able to trace the microchip.
Okay, cool.
And,
so you're going to be picked up?
Going to be picked up.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Once we're well, we'll be picked up, which is amazing.
And these are a few more of the puppies?
A few more of the puppies. So I think we've adopted 3 maybe, and we've
Yeah.
still got 4 to go.
Yeah.
So they are beautiful natured little puppies. They're really great.
And
yeah.
Woogie, we've spoken about him, the climber.
The climber, yes.
And what about some of these?
So this is RJ. We
Jay?
had RJ and Ruff came to us as puppies.
Yep.
Ruff has been adopted to a beautiful family that we get updates from all the time, but we do still have RJ, unfortunately. So RJ is probably about 6 months now.
Yeah.
Very active, very intelligent, beautiful little soul that just needs some space to run.
The ultimate thing we as a community can help with is considering adopting an animal from Warrnambool's RSPCA before looking elsewhere, because dogs like Jimmi have so much love to give, just like one of the 100 or more cats also at the facility each day. Are people still adopting animals? Where are we with people coming in and actually finding their new mate for life here?
I think there's been, during COVID we had adoptions by appointment, and I think there's a little bit of confusion in the community about how we go about doing the adoption now. So we're certainly open for adoptions. If you're wanting to adopt a cat, just pop on down during our opening hours. We can take you out there, show you around, have a look at what we've got. We've got plenty. If it's a dog, we do ask that you call and make an appointment just to ensure that we've got the staff numbers. But yeah, certainly still open adoptions. Just come in the door and talk to us, and we'll help you out as much as we can.
They certainly do amazing work, and at the conclusion of producing this report, Jimmy was still looking for his forever home. So if you think he is the dog for you, please get in touch. As mentioned, the RSPCA is always looking for volunteers, and if this is something you are interested in, please visit their website. I'm Liam Fitzgerald, and that was The Full Story.
Next time on The Full Story, the local veteran who made it his life's work to tell the story of our fallen diggers.
Anyone can walk at the cemetery and look at the writing on the graves and assume whatever they need to about the person who is buried in there. What I try to do is bring them alive for you.
Taking locals through the Warrnambool Cemetery each